Virtual reality has received a lot of public attention. People have started to open their eyes to this new technology. If you haven't been paying attention, now might be a good time to start. It's something new, something cutting edge. But what do people really know? And what should people know?
I've seen them wear the goggles and stuff, and it's like another world.
You utilize some kind of like optical device and you go into another reality.
All this innovation is happening and the world pretty much has no idea it's going on. Once it hits, it's just gonna be like... Aloha everyone. My name is Kai Kao. I'm founder of Hawaii Virtual Reality Meetup and a company that lets people take pictures while they're in virtual reality. I'm in virtual reality right now. I bet you couldn't tell though. Wink wink. VR is you put this thing on your head and instead of seeing the real world, all of a sudden you're in a computer generated world. You put this on your head and the effect is that I'm looking through the screen. Like most technology we have, laptops, computers, smartphones, TVs, it's all just looking at, and virtual reality is kind of for the first time bringing us into computers and letting us look around.
Today, virtual reality is mostly used for games and entertainment, but VR is going to be much bigger and much more compelling than what people have envisioned.
Right now there's a lot of big companies getting into VR, like Facebook and Google and Sony and you name the rest. They're building a lot of new stuff now for gaming, for entertainment, and everything under the sun basically is going into VR. It's pretty hard for like an average person just to get into VR right now. It's expensive. It's not hard. Just if you have $1,000 laying around, then yeah, sure, go for it.
Today, VR is not for everyone. No, I'd say that VR is for the people who want to see a taste of the future. You can now watch a movie with somebody on the other side of the world at the same time and have a conversation with that person, look at them, they look at you. You can even be scanned in to look like you. It's already being used to make cars, spaceships, buildings, and so that shows it's already being used. I mean, by industries. It's already shaking up industries.
Kay and Evan work with virtual reality through their company VRchive.
We build 360-degree screenshots. So while you're in a virtual experience, you can take a picture and you can view it from that perspective from anywhere in the world.
You can then look at those pictures later and it feels like you're going back in time, right back to this moment. We realized, well, it'd be great if we could share these and see what pictures do people like, what places do people like, just to help us build better things.
More brands want to be a part of the world of VR for the new technology. The magic of presence changes everything.
We started off with orientationally tracked headsets, orientation only, which means you can look to the left, to the right, up. You can tilt your head like this, right? But you couldn't stand up and walk around.
Virtual reality events were held at Iolani School on Oahu, where people got a chance to try the new VR technology.
Right now we're having the Hawaii Virtual Reality Meetup group, where people come to show off their demos, their project of virtual reality, or just to come check out the newest stuff.
So the new technology we were showing people today is the HTC Vive headset. The HTC Vive lets people walk around in a room scale environment. You just have a lot more depth and range, and it adds to the immersion. It really gets you to feel like you're somewhere else.
What's really cool about the HTC Vive is that it allows for room scale. So what it has is two sensors that map out the room that you can walk in. So not only can you interact and see the virtual world, you can actually walk around and move and check out, look behind, look underneath things, look inside the engine and everything as you go around.
There's golfing.
a little bit. Lots of lights, trees. It felt like I was in a different world for sure.
I'm trying to understand what this VR stuff is all about. What besides the three-dimensionality, the fact that you can look all the way around, like that's all it takes to be that immersive. Like when you take that thing off, it really feels like you're in a different world.
So what's new with Oculus Rift is, so recently they took pre-orders. So we're going to be getting the CV1, which is going to be the commercial version, which is going to be a much higher resolution than the DK2. So with the new tech, so one thing that we're trying to do here at Iolani School is I have a couple of students and they want to do similar to what Google Street View does. So they want to record and digitize and get copies of all the hikes around the island. So go out, take 3D scans of things, and then have it either 360-degree video or 360-degree photos that they can view in Google Cardboard, in the Oculus, and so on and so forth.
Until we have really perfect VR that completely tricks everyone, right? And we'll get there, to the point where your brain is completely tricked. Nobody knows exactly what we're going to be using it for primarily. We just know that there's so many things we could never even imagine building before. This year it starts to hit, so the early adopters come in, and then over the next 5 years is when it really starts taking over and branching into other territories. You can build houses much faster and better because you can actually walk around them before you build them, right? So it's going to impact how we make cars, how we make houses, how we make most products, right? But then it's also going to impact how we interact with each other and socialize.
Yeah, starting with gaming, next is probably definitely entertainment with movies and all the other stuff. It's just made for that already. I'd say after that would be education's a big one as well.
Teach kids to learn how to build and want to learn through virtual reality, because learning can be really fun instead of just reading a book. I mean, that's kind of, what would you rather do as a kid? Read a book or actually go to Rome?
It's a whole another layer of interactivity that you can have with anything, right? There's the Google Expeditions, which is coming out right now, in which case a teacher can take their students on a tour of anywhere in the world, right? All the students will have the cardboard virtual reality goggles on, and the teacher will be able to click a button and send them anywhere in the world, anywhere in the universe, really.
A Google Expeditions team visited Iolani School and held a workshop with over 50 Hawaiian educators, where they learned about how to use VR technology in the classroom.
So this workshop was an opportunity to introduce Hawaii educators to a new, hopefully a soon-to-be released app by Google called Google Expeditions, which allows teachers to guide students through a virtual reality experience in the classroom.
One teacher has the device and 20 cardboards, and the whole class can go on a tour to anywhere they want to go at this point. I think they're launching with about 200 or so tours to start with, and these come with pre-built facts and everything.
There's not really a steep learning curve to it, and so because of that, I think of it as a very good entry-level option into virtual reality in the classroom.
So the reason I use video games for learning and teaching is that it's already a language that kids are familiar with. It's something they're passionate about, right? So if you can get them to be as excited about any other subject as you can about video games, they're going to have 100% attentiveness. They're really going to go an extra 110% on it.
I have mixed opinions about virtual reality in the classroom. I do see how it is an effective tool, or it can be an effective tool to engage the student. The other part of it is the concern of how detached the children are getting now with the internet and computers from a real world situation.
I'm interested in the opportunities that I can take my students on these virtual field trips. We're from an area that has a lot of low-income kids and probably won't get out of Hawaii.
A lot of possibilities. Sounds really, really great. I mean, Google takes it to another level, which makes it really exciting.
I'm here because I'm an educator who's looking to the future and trying to just be educated on what's coming as far as learning experiences with virtual reality. I think at first it can supplement and it can kind of pair with it, whereas it does scare me a little bit if it were to completely take over. I think human contact is just as important as the new technology, but it can definitely be a great tool that could be used every day, just not perhaps all day, every day.
A lot of the teachers are actually super open to the idea of using video games in their classrooms, using virtual reality in their classrooms, mostly because they're able to see that the kids are teaching themselves these super complicated topics, right? They teach themselves how to play video games, which are pretty complex, right? They can use that same level of engagement, same level of like critical thinking towards any other subject that they want. So I've been seeing it happen a lot, and there's been very little resistance. I don't see it replacing anything. I see it kind of coming in as like a supportive thing, something they can add on, right? Make it more engaging, more exciting, anything to get that little extra wow factor that the kids want.
Education is just one of many industries where virtual reality will change the dynamics. When it explodes, will there be any limits?